beautiful beaches, warm people, our shores, the place to be this winter tourist season. Hi, I'm Audrey Williams. It's your daily show, Jamaica Magazine. On today's show, we highlight the glories of the tourism industry. On Issues and Answers, we have a robust discussion about enhancing the internationally acclaimed product. Then, how you, Jamaicans, can benefit and be a part of the industry. Stay with us as we dive into another exciting lineup.
What are you doing to help the fight against crime?
Sitting on the corner, minding your own business, definitely not going to work.
It is time for us to unite.
Unite.
Unite for change.
Citizens coming together to make their respective communities safer. The police, schools, public health, business, churches, NGOs, parents and neighborhood watch volunteers.
As we, the police, do our job,
We as citizens need to do our part as well.
Report crimes or even suspicious activities.
Let's all work together.
As one united front against crime.
And make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
Unite for Change, an initiative of the Ministry of National Security.
More than 2 million persons vacationed in Jamaica last year, and the island is ready to welcome even more. The Tourism Enhancement Fund and the Tourism Product Development Company are just two of the agents making sure Jamaica land we love is appealing to visitors and locals alike. Next on Issues, we provide answers for the further development of the tourism sector.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of Issues and Answers. I'm Ian Boyne. Today we talk about tourism. We have with us the Executive Director of the Tourism Product Development Company, Mr. Dennis Ickey, as well as the Executive Director of the Tourism Enhancement Fund, Mr. Clyde Harrison. We thank you for your company. Gentlemen, good to have you on. I want to start with you, Dennis. What's the overarching work of TPDCO and how does that work contribute to an integrated approach to tourism?
Yeah. Well, our job at TPDCO, Ian, is to ensure that the product is kept at a high level, the standard of the product, which will involve the working with the various players in the industry, from hotels, attractions, water sports activities, to ensure they maintain a high standard. So this involves training. We carry out training for all players in the industry. It is a requirement for these people to go through what is called a Team Jamaica training. It's an integrated training that prepares all our people to interact with guests from wherever they are from, and then to carry out the licensing process for these attractions and tourism entities to be licensed by the JTB. We also, in that regard, are responsible for maintaining the good behavior. So the anti-harassment measures is something that falls within our responsibility.
And beautification.
Beautification is part of it, because the resort towns, not just a resort town, the corridors leading to resort towns and around attractions need to be well kept and maintained, and we do this on an ongoing basis. Additionally, we are responsible as a project management arm to execute major projects, which might involve infrastructure development, depending on what the product is. So take an example is, as we speak, we're looking at some main corridors into Negril, corridors into Kingston. You land at the airport, you come to Harbourview Roundabout. What is it that you see when you're coming in? So we work with
TPDCO's responsibility,
and we work with the different agencies, NWA, NEPA, all the agents, UDC involved, Port Authority, where it's a Port Authority responsibility to join with us, and we're looking to make sure that these corridors represent what our country, our beautiful country, really is. And so now you will craft market executing and ensuring that craft market vendors are not just licensed, but they are operating in a way that help to keep the standard high. And by and large, we're a facilitating agency. Our job is to, a new investor wants to come in, we take them through all the procedures necessary to become licensed. And so we guide them, and if we need to hold their hand and ensure that NEPA does what they need to do to give them clearance once they meet the requirements, to ensure that the health department, the fire department, so we coordinate and bring all these people in to ensure that the next investor who's going to create the employment in the country are facilitated. One of the mandate is to do all of this and to ensure in the process sustainable social and economic development, the various communities that we're impacting. And so even our projects, our infrastructure projects, must reflect this. Within all this, we believe that the tourism product must continue to expand, but expand not just for people who board plane and come on a cruise ship, but for all of us who live in Jamaica to enjoy. So that part of the transformation led by the mandate coming through the minister, right down through the board and conveyed right through to the staff. We all know that that is our role.
So you're pushing for the product to be developed so that more Jamaicans will want to enjoy the product.
You would be amazed at the various attractions and places of interest and places where we can go have fun in this country that we need to pull out and get it marketed and get it developed. And we're aware that there needs to be a great degree of private sector involvement in these. The government is not going to run entities like this, but we can help to facilitate the development. Let's take an example of a Lover's Leap. We just discovered a trail which has been looked at by JNHT, the Jamaica National Heritage Trust. They believe it could be up to 200 years old. Used to carry slaves down to the sea and with six feet wide donkey cart carrying sugar and carrying back stuff that came in on these ships. We want to work to rehabilitate something like that, integrate it into the Lover's Leap attraction. Then say to private sector, whether locally or internationally, come in, take this through the tender process, bring some additional capital and value, put in your, if it's a zip line somewhere, if it's a cable car somewhere, and then build it out as a next big attraction. So those are some of the things that we're constantly looking out for, but we want the community to be involved in a great way. So we want employment, not just employment, we want ownership. So we're looking at all possibilities.
Good. When we come back, we're going to talk to you, Clyde, about the role of the Tourism Enhancement Fund. We're talking tourism today and your involvement in tourism. We take a break, but we'll be right back.
Let's celebrate Jamaica to the world. Fastest man in the world. First Jamaican woman to win gold in Olympic 100-meter sprint. An upcoming global superstar. Mouth-watering meals. And a vibrant set of people. We are Jamaicans. Let's get together and bring back the love.
We're talking tourism today on Issues and Answers. Clyde, you're executive director of TF. You're the man who gives Dennis the money to do a number of the things that he does. Let's talk about the role of the Tourism Enhancement Fund.
The Tourism Enhancement Fund is an organization that was mainly structured to provide funding for development of the tourism industry. It came about because the master plan that was developed for tourism industry needed funding.
Yes.
So the idea came about that let's have a funding capability within the ministry. What took place was that after many tries and lots of effort from a lot of persons, over years, what you found is that the TF evolved. Now what we do essentially is that we collect a fee, an arrival tax. We call it a passenger tax from each tourist. Initially we started at $10.
But it's now $20.
It's now $20. What that does, it gives us space to operate more smoothly and more efficiently. Because I don't think you're aware that we make significant allocations of funding to the Jamaica Tourist Board in terms of our funding. We do
JTB.
provide significant funding for the Jamaica Tourist Board, and that's a significant portion of our funding. The remainder of our funding we use to promote tourism through like Dennis's developments significantly. Well, the master plan speaks to a couple of things. It speaks to infrastructure development. It speaks to community tourism development. It speaks to heritage development. It speaks to taking care of the environment. And what I significant, I think it speaks to making tourism inclusive and appreciated by all. And those are tenets of the master plan. Okay. That's a quick synopsis, but those are real tenets of the master plan. If you open the pages, that's what you'll see first. This is what we do.
So could Jamaicans who have ideas for a tourism project send in a proposal to TF?
They could.
You could send in a proposal.
Yes, the mandate allows us to look at it.
Look at it.
And we'll probably develop a public-private partnership of some sort and have our interests registered, and then we go ahead and look at the project.
Yeah.
But of course, the project has to be looked at along the line of every other project in terms of its viability, right? Not only about its tourism, but its viable tourism product.
Yes.
So we look at it from there, but they're free to apply.
But community tourism is a particular emphasis in terms of your funding.
As is the environment, but yes, community tourism, because we believe that the tourism product has a lot to do with the people here. Our sportsmen, every individual on the road, our culture is attractive to people.
Yes.
So we want to sell tourism as an inclusive product.
Yes, yeah.
We're not selling it actually, it is an inclusive product. It is what people come here for. Have you ever been asked, what is it that people come to Jamaica for? Many times you hear the people.
Yes, that's true.
Or the culture.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they don't come to be at the hotels necessarily, they come to experience the country, the fullness of the entire country.
Yes.
So we are trying to push that line in terms of it being totally an inclusive industry.
And there is a major objective of TPDCO is to enhance the diversity of the tourism product, the diversity of the offering. So one, the tourists who come here can spend more money in Jamaica so that our retention of foreign exchange earnings can be greater, and that Jamaicans can find a wide variety of things to do here.
Precisely. And when you say it like that, Ian, it's precisely what we want to do. We want to make sure that the offering is as wide as possible.
Yes.
We see more tour companies now getting into the business. They are going to pretty soon be crying out for more places to take their people.
Yes.
And so our job is to facilitate that expansion. So we've done a lot of good work to get the numbers of people coming in to that level. We want to give them other things to do. And more we see them coming out. And if we can take them out in a safe way to attractive places where they can stay half a day and a couple of hours, spend some money, then it's a greater share of wallet from the tourists that we're building out.
And
critical to that is going to be the community tourism policy, which the ministry is working on jointly with all the agencies involved to ensure that we have a policy that can guide things like bed and breakfast, that can guide how craft is developed and sold, that can guide just as simply exposing areas, because people come for different reasons, and being caught up in a hotel where it's just about what the hotel offers is not what they all want, and there are others who don't go to the. It's interesting when you go to a place like Negril. Many hotels in Negril are not all inclusive, and you see the people on the road. They're looking for places to go.
That's right.
Our job is to help to build out these and bring them to market. There are many falls and heritage sites and various other kinds of attractions that we need to facilitate the development of.
You have what are called transformational projects, particularly in Ocho Rios, in Port Royal, and Bath Fountain. Tell us a little bit about the concept.
Bath Fountain is an interesting one, because Bath Fountain has a social issue to deal with. The dual facility out there, one of which has gotten rave reviews abroad, but need to be operated within certain standards. As we speak, we have engaged, we're working with the Board of Bath with a view to engaging an SDC to see how we can integrate and work with those people who will be making a living. So again, when we go out to do the work, we're very mindful of how we displace and reintegrate, or how we get people to be involved in what's happening. So Bath is one that we're taking a very careful look at, mindful of the social situation. Places like Milk River, we're doing some significant work in Milk River to do some renovation to the existing facility, to create diversified product. Even within the bath system, we're proposing now that there's a public bath to which everybody has access, but we're also looking at the possibility of building out another kind of a spa, treatment and activity, so that guys like you can decide one weekend to roll out and get the treatment outside of Kingston.
Yes.
So we're working with and clearly our project development and we speak about it. When Clyde says that the development, there was a need for beautification and enhancement and looking at all these projects, the TPD had a focus on projects. We call it product development. We're now, with the blessing of the board, trying to separate projects, which is infrastructure and construction, from what is called product development, which is where the marketing and economic eye will see the next big thing.
Yes.
And package and scope the next big thing. Bring it to us so we can sit down with TEF and the other stakeholders and determine that this is really a big addition and get the stakeholder consensus to broaden.
There are a number of other
scope.
exciting things I would love to talk about. We're running out of time, but you guys need to come back. We need to do another program where we look at the exciting developments in the development of the tourism product. We have last year we had our 2 millionth tourists in Jamaica. We need to provide more offerings for them, and the tourism product development company and the tourism enhancement fund have been working assiduously on that. We've had today with us the executive director of TPDCO, Dennis Hickey, as well as the executive director of the tourism enhancement fund, Clyde Harrison. They'll be back with us to talk more about what is happening in tourism. Until then, Ian Bourne wishing you a pleasant day.
Best thing right now in the country, helping youths, because pre-dismiss, it's not easy for a youth who is not working proper sum of money to send himself to art or any institution. So CSJP now funding you, because when more time them tell you the figure in a miss, how much it costs, we could find that amount of money. So what they are doing, miss, wonderful. In our community, you might have section which divided up. So when all of us now start to go to class together, miss, starting, you have person we are going to sit left, some are going to sit right. But you see, by weeks and weeks after, all of us just come as one, miss. You even start running both together, miss. When you start know a thing now, it's different from when you're not knowing. Because growing up, I can always hear people say, don't go there, so don't go there, so. Alright, but knowing each other now, miss, you really see that it is not as our people put it at times. It's different.
The Citizen Security and Justice Program, CSJP, an initiative of the Ministry of National Security, promoting peace and building communities while empowering the lives of unattached youth one day at a time.
That can easily change if we allow the cutting of trees, forest fires, animal grazing, crop cultivation, or improper dwellings to destroy our forest reserves. Help preserve Jamaica's flora and fauna. If you know or suspect that someone is hurting our forest reserves, call 1-888-FORESTS. Remember, protecting our forests means sustaining our lives.
People can become more progressive and succeed personally and collectively by uniting around common, positive goals. In any endeavor, unity is strength. It allows for the unleashing of the cooperative process that pushes ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results. When people unite and cooperate, it creates an environment for sharing knowledge and skills, tools for bringing about quality and efficiency in all we pursue. United cooperative effort is indeed the means for us to progress, as it reduces the burden of our workload. Let's all unite for our personal and collective development and make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
In 2012, 11,964 persons were victims of fire. The Jamaica Fire Brigade wants you to be prepared. Plan your escape route, install and maintain fire extinguishers, practice fire drills. Look out for warning signs of dangerous wiring.
Don't cook and leave it unattended. Don't overload circuits. Don't allow children that are not of the age of 12 and untaught to be fooling around with fire in general.
Once a fire starts, you need to call us.
For more information on fire prevention, contact the Jamaica Fire Brigade. Call 922-2523 or 922-0007 or visit their website jfb.gov.jm.
Our message to the public is prevent, prevent, prevent.
The Jamaica Fire Brigade, saving lives, protecting property.
Without us, the people, Jamaica's world-renowned tourism brand would be non-existent. If you feel disconnected from the industry, you should watch this next feature. Deepening the linkages between tourism and the population is happening daily. Sun, sea and sand, heritage and culture, including food, music, dance, sports and fashion, all play equal roles in making brand Jamaica unique. But underlying all these are the people, those who ensure that with all the natural talent that abounds here, visitors keep coming. Tourism is one of the biggest foreign exchange earners for Jamaica, and it has the potential to grow even more if we as individuals take greater ownership and contribute to the sector. One of the most common ways to get involved in selling our brand to the rest of the world is through direct involvement in tourism. You can make your mark in any of a number of service industries like the culinary arts, health and wellness, performing arts, housekeeping, nature and others. Okay, think about it. Who wants to buy a product that's not even attractive to the seller? Selling brand Jamaica is not just about flashy ad campaigns. Partaking in the local offerings is actually an excellent way to market its bounties. And fortunately for us, almost anything you can find in another destination, Jamaica has it too, and much more. So not only will you be satisfying your taste for a delightful vacation, you will also be contributing to the development of the sector and, by extension, the country. Tourism doesn't exist as an entity to itself. Its effect can be felt on other areas, and tourism is likewise influenced by a growing number of sectors. Chief among them is manufacturing and farming. So if you're into farming, food processing, craft making, furniture making, or other like industries, now is a good time to think about enhancing your product and marketing them to hotels. Developing communities, developing individuals, allowing growth both in the economy and in the lives of individuals. Jamaica is known best for its warm climate, its beaches, scenery, and natural environment. And it's up to all of us to ensure that we take care of it. How? By adopting environmentally friendly practices in our everyday lives. No littering, cutting down of trees, or burning rubbish are common ways we can preserve our natural environment, ensuring it remains aesthetically appealing.
Jamaica, a brand standing out among many. Keeping the product relevant and interesting is not just a job for high-profile tourism stakeholders. Each of us must become trailblazers and protectors of what we have. Getting involved in selling our community to tourists is one way of doing that, giving visitors a chance to experience a different side of Jamaica other than that which is packaged in the hotel setting. Whether you contribute through a specialist area or just as an ordinary Jamaican citizen, there is a role for you in ensuring Jamaica remains a prime tourism enclave. Let's all play our part in keeping alive the theme, once you go, you know.
Check this. What you do today can improve all your tomorrows. From writer Ralph Marston, reminding us to do our best each day. Join us tomorrow for another informative and entertaining program. Keep sending those emails to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or send a tweet at JIS News. Click on jis.gov.jm where you may find more news stories and features on all the issues featured in today's magazine. Until then, I'm Audrey Williams saying, walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.